All right, everybody, welcome back to Dice Tower Chat. And I'm Tom Vassell, and with me is...
Stephen Buonocore. Hello, everybody.
I don't know why you suddenly got on like a delay there or something, but you were...
Am I on a delay?
Your sound is, you're talking, and then we hear you later. But that's okay, because it's probably the internet. The internet's really being taxed pretty strongly these days. All right. Anyway, folks, welcome. We're doing these daily chats. We're going to be doing these each night. We're going to be doing this for the foreseeable future. I've talked to the other Dice Tower guys, and we're going to be kind of splitting these up. I'm not going to be here every night. I'll be here many nights, but not every night, because some nights I just need to rest. But if you need someone to talk to and just have a positive outlook of sorts, that's what we're doing here. We are just talking to you guys, answering your questions, talking to each other, having a good time. And that's basically it for about an hour each night around 9 p.m. Nothing is set in stone because, as I'm sure you all are finding out, my days seem to change by every 12 hours. I don't know about you, Mr.
The entire
Buonocore.
world is changing about every 12 hours, right?
Yeah. So here's an interesting thing. So this is kind of news. And did you, I don't know, maybe you heard this. It just happened, I guess, yesterday, that Kickstarter creators can now extend their projects for 7 days.
No.
Yeah, so...
Is that true? No, I did not hear this.
Yeah, this is something that is happening. I found out about it because one Kickstarter project, put it in one of their updates. But they said, according to, this is The Verge I'm reading here, and I'll quickly switch you all to that screen. Or maybe not. It says here, Kickstarter is giving creators extra time to meet their crowdfunding goals. On Thursday, the company said any creator with a campaign live now can request a 7-day extension. They just have to email them, and it's because of the, of course, everything that's going on right now. And they also said that you better give better, accurate things to people backing the Kickstarter, although I think most people are going to be fairly forgiving about that stuff.
Sure.
So...
That's a pretty big change in Kickstarter policy. I don't see a
well,
downside
I'm
to
assuming
it.
this is a temporary thing, for sure.
Okay.
But I found it to be something very interesting, actually. There's a lot of positive changes being made by a lot of different places. A lot of people are adjusting, and Kickstarter is certainly one of the people who's doing that.
Kind of cool.
So... yeah, so let's see if we have any questions here from anybody. I wonder how long until Tom kicks Buonocore out of the chat. Oh, that's true. I used to do that on a regular basis. I used to time you out.
I used to do that all the time to me. I'm here.
Crystal
so there
says
you go.
makes
I'm
that
in the
last.
chat.
Crystal says that it makes that last 48 hours of Kickstarter a little more strange. I guess you would have to back it before then. So, I don't know. It's kind of an odd thing to do that.
That last 48 hours obviously is the big push, right? And that you get like a third of the money in a Kickstarter sometimes in that last 48 hours. So all of a sudden you'll be ramping up, and then they'll say, "Well, we're going to have another 7 days." Wow, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, I want to see somebody do that. By the way, are you going to talk about anything that, I don't know, maybe given away tonight or anything like that? Is that like a thing?
Yes. I'm looking for a game here. I don't have any games. Do you have any? What? So, this, folks, Loopin Louie was one of the most played games at Dice Tower West.
Thank you, Tom. It's true, actually. I mean, I was there, had a great time, and I enjoyed watching a lot of people play this. This is a shrink-wrapped copy, as you see, because the glare is right on top of it. But so this is from Uwe Rosenberg. It is unreleased. This game is not released. I have the only copy in the country. Not exactly. We had a couple of copies over at Dice Tower West. Its street date's on April 27th, and one of you people out there can win a copy. Tom, how do they win a copy?
We're going to pick a random person who comments here. So
a random commenter. Someone who says something positive about Buonocore and negative about Vassell will be the winner.
No, that's not actually the rules, I don't think. All right. So the first question here is, well, the first question
All right.
technically is, what is the beer tonight? But the second question, oh, yeah, go figure. I'm drinking the same old orange water that I drink. All right.
This is
so
a dark. It's a soda.
how
Yeah,
did your
okay. Well,
relationship start? They want to know. What happened was we were walking down a hall and Steven dropped the card. I tried to pick it up and our heads bumped and there was magic.
magic occurred at that moment. It's a funny. It was an evolving story, and actually, I documented it fairly well in Ignacie's book. Right, I wrote the whole thing up there. But I think it started a little bit that before there was a Stronghold Games, I was a fan of the Dice Tower, and I wrote in and I won a contest. I won one of the contests. I forgot what I won. Some decks of cards from some game that is long lost in my memory. And we started chatting and things like that about various things. And then when I started Stronghold Games, I was just obviously very friendly, and we decided that we would cooperate. I was very friendly.
Whitewashing the thing here, but all right.
We decided we would cooperate. When part of the biggest part of our beginning relationship was that we cooperated on a booth in the very, very early days of Origins. It was like Stronghold's first Origins booth in 2011.
Which was right after the Jack Russell Memorial Fund had launched.
Right. And we were there and you were there. We like split up a 20 by 20 booth into 4 sections. It was you, it was me. It was, Patrick from...
They're Daily Magic games now, but at the time they were Clever Mojo. And then a computer company that was going to make computer games of board games that never happened. But at the time...
It never happened. But it was a great little beginning. And then we had some great like meals together where we solidified our friendship at a certain crazy location in Indianapolis at Gen Con. Do you remember the name of that place, Tom?
What's this?
The name of a place that Eric Summerer wanted to have lunch at, and you walked in. You were like, I don't think I could stay in this place.
Oh yes, what was it? It's just Dick's, right, or something like that.
I believe it's called Dick's Last Resort, and there's
right.
more jokes in that place that you might predict than you would believe. And they write on your hats. They give you hats and they write on them ridiculous things. It was a very funny lunch. We had a really good time.
All right, let's show some emails here, folks. Here's the first email. I'm going to show it to you on the screen that Mr. Buonocore ever sent me.
You have this here? This is a setup.
No, it's not. I just went and looked for it. It says, hey, dudes, I'm a new listener. Great show. And here's my entry for the 24/7 Ink and Gold contest. And we were talking about fun to get exclusives. This is 2007. This is 13 years ago. Oh, wow. Man. So that's the first email.
It was the first lie I said. I said it was a great show. Okay.
And let's see. Then I have a PayPal from him. And then Mr. Buonocore bought 2 Dice Towers from me. This was back when we made Dice Tower boots.
Nice.
And
see?
Now let's
I was
see.
a supporter.
Now we're going to look at... I keep all my emails, buddy. So here's his entry into one of our contests where he has... how would I change the Dice Tower? He says he wants our mini reviews to be more review-like. He says, we just say the game is good, it was fun. That's not helpful to the audience, in my humble opinion. I think it would be more helpful to have this a bit more scripted, just like he scripts his podcast these days. Anyhow, he talks about the 72-second reviews done by Eric. He likes those much better.
Those much better than your reviews. I was very honest about that. True. Hey, Nina Green, I just saw her post in there. Good friend. Percy's doing great, Nina. I can go grab him. He's probably eating his second dinner right now.
All right, so he just kept entering contest after contest. He entered quite a few contests. He was the runner-up for Battleground Fantasy Warfare, and then ended up winning it.
That's the one I remember winning, or I got something from you. Yeah, that was it.
Do you realize that came out 15 years ago? So
see how long we've known each other, Tom? What
so
a
I'm continuing to
marriage
go
hidden
through these emails. He wanted to be friends with me on Facebook in April 29th, 2010. So 10 years of that garbage.
Can you
Then
believe this?
I have an interview. He did an interview with Jeff Engelstein. I think this is when they first got together. And he had started Stronghold Games. And let me see here.
I remember. I went to his house when we did that. Yeah.
Let's see. Then he asked if I wanted a review copy of Code 777. Asked me if I'd review it. I said no, of course. I didn't like the guy at all. Then he sent me Code 77. Then he thanked me for the review. And he said he knows it was a tough time. I was moving from Korea to Florida, so he wanted to thank me for the time. This was one of the last times he thanked me for any game review. Anyway.
How do you possibly have all these emails? That is crazy.
And then I told him I was running a giant contest. I'm still looking for the origin stuff because that's super interesting.
Alan Moon just posted, "This is a new low point for his life. I'm forced to stay home and watch this chat." That is the greatest. That is the great. Alan, love you, baby.
And the emails got a little sad here, actually, because we talked about what happened with Jack, and then Mr. Buonocore was very, very nice there. And then he sent me an email that said, "Loose lips sync reprints." So I'm going to read this one here. He says, I'm not going to put this one on the screen because there's personal stuff and he curses a lot. He said,
did not curse in any email ever sent to you.
He said, I mentioned that Whataburger was doing a reprint project and I scared the snot out of him because he thought I was going to do it since he hadn't the thing signed yet. And and then we talked a little bit more about this. He said, I'm not even allowed to hint about it anymore. This was Merchants of Venus at the time.
We know how well that went.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, let's see. Man, do you know how many emails have your name in them when I went to do a search? 1,400. That is entirely too many emails.
That's not all from me and all to me from you. That's also people saying nice things about me, I'm sure. That's everybody saying Buonocore or Stephen. Yes.
So then he called me, and we talked about Origins, and he said that he would share a booth with us. We had a 20 by 20 island, and it's very, very polite. This is very weird to read these super polite emails. I don't know where along the line he went off the deep end, but it is what it is. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get to some actual questions. Our trip down memory lane is complete. All right. Crystal wants to know, what new game are you releasing this year that you're most excited about and why? I know you love them all, despite how bad they are, but you have to pick one. Oh, I might have edited what she said.
Repeat that.
Just which of your upcoming games are you most excited about?
Of course, it's about Nova Luna because we have it right here. We're giving it away right now by Uwe Rosenberg. Actually, I was very excited about the beginning of this year. I mean, the releases I thought were great. A lot of them came from last year because they were like delayed Essen releases, right? We had the 2F Spieler releases, Fast Sloths, and the expansion. Next Holiday came out. Aftershock by Alan R. Moon and Bobby West came out, as well as Agizia. So there's a really great early year for us.
Aftershock is on my list to play right now for sure. It's at the studio right now. I'm hoping I can get back to the studio and pick up some of these games. So, yeah.
So it was a really great early year. We're going to be slowing it down now. We only have a couple of things coming out. We also have Ripple Rush coming out on April 8th. Another Rolling Right Now series. And then we're going to be talking about like stuff that, then we're going to get into the Kickstarters, but I can't really talk about them because we haven't announced any of them yet. So they're all a little bit still secret right now. But we got some really interesting things happening really soon that I will be able to talk to soon.
Star Wars Indiana says, do you think other companies will explore the unique game concept that FFG has explored? or is it unlikely due to the probable cost behind production and development of those concepts?
Of which concepts? I'm sorry, I missed the first part.
The unique game. Do you think other companies like Keyforge and Discover
the unique game.
Lands Unknown, the game that every single game is something different? There's definitely proprietary stuff on there from Fantasy Flight. We don't know exactly what it is, but there's something involved that they've managed to build computer algorithms to do this.
Yeah, and they're leveraging a incredible amount of digital printing facilities to do this. Will this be explored by anybody else? Not soon, that's for sure. They are leveraging their strength.
But they haven't done a new one. They keep doing more expansions for Keyforge, but they haven't done anything else. What I found fascinating,
I don't know that they need to right now. I mean, they're basically utilizing it. Last time I checked, there were 1 million, and I'm sure the number is much higher, 1 million decks logged on their site. That's obviously unique decks that people purchase. So you can see how big this thing is and how rabid the fan base is. I think that they'll continue doing this game this way. You wouldn't want to do a game that's too similar to this because they're gonna milk is the wrong word, but they're gonna continue going for this system and using this system and keep bringing out stuff for this system. It's very, very, very lucrative, obviously, to continue using this system the way it is.
Well, I think the next expansion will be their last. We'll see.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know. I'm noticing a distinct less people playing it and getting it. But one thing I found super interesting was when I was in China, they released the Chinese version. And I said, are these translations? And it wasn't. Those were also unique. So if you got a Chinese deck, that would be unique. There's no English deck that corresponds to it.
Okay.
Nick Wagner says, I picked up a copy of Loopin Louie because I watched a video of you two bozos playing it at a convention. Fun.
Bozos. Bozos is the correct word.
I don't remember the game, but I'm sure we must have played it. So
I remember that game because you lost so badly to me. That's very
Here's
good.
the deal we're going to make. At something in the future, we don't know when or where, we will have some sort of next showdown.
Well, we're obviously assuming that we're going to do it at Dice Tower East. Right? Sure.
But no matter what happens,
will be on.
No matter what happens, it's going to happen this year.
We will do another one of these this year, guaranteed. Somewhere, somehow.
We still haven't done that bowling challenge yet.
Bowling?
I talked to you about this. I said, you get a bunch of guys together, we get some people, we come up and we just do bowling versus each other. Buonocore versus Vassal. Pins challenge.
But that's like too much of a talent thing. You're probably like a 300 bowler. I mean, you're probably like the best bowler.
I haven't bowled in like 5 years.
I haven't bowled in like 10 years.
No, it's much longer than that. You're just trying to stretch your age again. The next question, what's your favorite game?
My favorite game? Well, yours. My favorite game? I talk about that all the time. War of the Ring is absolutely my favorite game. It's one of the greatest game ever designed. It's thematically and mechanically. It is just an amazing system that was created. Every game ends in a tension-filled moment where either Frodo dunks the ring in Mount Doom or the last stronghold on Middle-earth is taken over. It's phenomenal, and I have the collector's edition. It's so awesome.
Well, someone just pointed that they're jealous of that full Battlestar Galactica set on that shelf. You know how valuable that is behind you? That is a very pricey thing. You got some.
That's right. It's out of print now. That's right.
And you got Battle Cry right above it. That's not an inexpensive game either. That's interesting. You want me to go like this, and you can see all like 30 feet this way? No, it's not 30. It's 30 feet in total, though. I don't know if you guys can see all that. It's a very. There's a lot of games. Well, you got the giant. Oh, you have a lot of big games there, man.
Oh, and then up top. Where there's the coffin boxes are up there.
I'm looking to see if nothing personal's on the shelves.
Oh God, no! Of course not. No, it is. I have nothing. I have two.
Really?
I have two copies. Yeah,
What?
because I forgot how I got a second copy of it. I don't remember. I might have given away the second because I don't need to. But nothing.
No one
personal
needs
is definitely-
one. Come on now.
No one needs one. Well, you ripped off Kremlin, which was a much better game, but that's okay.
That's
It's
not
okay.
true.
Everything comes back around.
This person says they're called tightwads with cameras. I yelled at Buonocore one time. He blushed and ran away. True story.
I blush. I mean,
No,
I
they
do
said
blush.
they blushed and ran away after they yelled
Oh.
at you.
Oh, why would they?
I
yell
wouldn't
at me,
worry
though?
about it. It happens a lot. Every convention I go to with him. Paul Peacock says he'll trade you a homebrew batch of peanut butter stout for that game.
No one gets my War of
Which
the
of
Ring
you would
Collector's
win
Edition,
an
if that's what-
eating contest?
Tom wins all eating contests. I've seen him eat. It's really not attractive. No. I've had many meals with him.
So mean.
Not good.
I'm not even argue against you. All right. Just found Fortress in a Goodwill. Any tips? What Fortress? Like the game Fortress? Fortress America? Is there a game that's just called Fortress?
My Fortress. He probably means My Fortress. One of the Fast Forward series. The one you like the best.
Oh,
you gotta
that
take over the
Fortress.
fortresses. I think that's what he means. Probably. Fortress America is a good game, too.
Any tips with Fortress? I would just have fun. It doesn't matter. It's a fun little game.
Yeah, I mean, with the exception of Flea, which is a seriously hard cooperative card game. Yeah, right? It is, isn't it? It's really hard. I've gotten through 3 chapters. I keep killing myself after that.
How far away are your houses, or do you live next door?
I have built a very large wall around this area so that Tom cannot get here. No, we are...
It's actually the
We
public
are-
ordinances demanded it because of the way he walked around the pool.
We are approximately 1.5 hours away. 1.5.
Yeah,
Let's
we
say
actually don't
1.5.
get together that often just because 1.5 hours is 3 hours because you go and back, right?
Well, that is true. That is true.
Occasionally we'll meet at the Hollywood Cool Stuff. That's an hour from me. So, and I think it's like 45 from you, maybe.
Yeah, the Hollywood Cool Stuff is 45, so that's a place that we've seen each other a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually planning to do something with him or call him up and say, let's meet over this month. And yeah, well, eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. Is stuff closed? I assume Cool Stuff is closed. I mean, most businesses are right now.
Especially in Miami. Miami's cracking down on it more so than up in your area.
No, like Fort Lauderdale, Cool Stuff, I assume.
Oh, yeah,
That's
true.
where we would probably.
If you could remove one board game from existence, leaving no mark or memory, what game would it be?
I don't know. It's not
I
nice.
got one, actually. I would do Cards Against Humanity. I don't think that game has brought a lot of good to our hobby. Like, I wouldn't pick Monopoly and Life and all those because those have done things that I think are good.
Well, here's the thing about cards. I don't, and I never talk badly about games. I don't.
Yeah, you
I don't
don't.
like the game. I mean it. It seemed. Look. Nothing offends me. You can say anything in front of me. Yeah, you can curse, whatever. But the game is about sort of playing the most offensive possible card, the most disgusting, gross, whatever card, and you win the hand. So it's not a game, but it's making more people play games, and that's just a good thing. That to me always trumps like almost everything else. It's a good thing for people to be playing games. I see that game everywhere. I see that in like I go to a bar, a brewery, and then all of a sudden I see a bunch of games there, and that's one of the games there. So it's interesting. I would not pick that to wipe it from existence. I don't know. I don't really. Hard for me to say something like that. And it wouldn't be Monopoly because it's like heritage almost, right? That's
Oh,
like
no,
so
right. And yeah. All right. David wants to know, what are our favorite restaurants?
Dick's Last Resort in Indianapolis is absolutely Tom's favorite restaurant. I
No,
know
in
that for a
Indianapolis, my favorite restaurant there is St. Elmo's. That's such a
St.
good
Elmo's.
steakhouse.
Oh my gosh, that place is incredible. I had it on Sunday night this year. It was the first time I went there. Oh my goodness, it is so. Yeah, that was a good place.
It is the opposite of cheap for sure, but
yes, it is. If you have a lot of money, you want to eat
phenomenally
there.
good. Down here in Florida, the Fish House is my favorite seafood restaurant.
I was just gonna say that place we all went to for Sam's going away party was fantastic. The Fish House, that was it. That's what it was called, right?
Yeah, it's really kind of this. When I first saw it on the map, I was like, I'm not going to a place that's just called the Fish House, but it had almost 5-star reviews on Yelp, and I figured I'd give it a whirl. And there you go.
That place is really good. I'm gonna give a big shout out in my area, a place in Boca Raton called the City Fish Market. Fantastic fish place. You notice we're both talking a lot about fish places. Obviously, Florida, fish, a lot of water around here. So
yeah,
we eat a lot of fish. If you like fish, I mean, again, I lived in New Jersey, New York, and you're surrounded by water almost there too. But there's a lot of fish restaurants down here, and if you like fish, this is a place to live. It's fantastic.
What's your favorite chain restaurant?
Do I have to eat at chain restaurants ever?
Yeah, sometimes.
I don't think I do. I mean, almost at all.
All right, so you're traveling. You're at a convention. It's late
Boston
at night.
Market. I mean, like a Boston Market. Does that count? I mean, it's
no, that's fine.
Sort of like
that's a chain restaurant. Yeah.
It's not a restaurant, right? Because it's kind of half fast food, right? But I go there because I think it's a nice, quick meal. You don't sit down, and it's kind of they make it fresh and everything like that. So I like Boston markets.
I don't understand this question. Maybe you do. It says Stephen, how's Percy? I haven't seen any new pictures lately.
Percy's my cat, Tom. You've met him.
Okay, never mind. I apologize. No, you've never invited me to your house.
Tom hates cats. Well, yeah, I have invited you to my house. You were supposed to come here on the way back from Orlando for something, and I invited you, and all of a sudden you had like 35 people with you, and I'm like, no, don't come. Just don't come. Just keep going. Keep going south on the turnpike, and I'll see you soon.
Was this after the Halloween thing?
No, it could have been because I was with you. It was like 2 years. It was like when I first moved here or something like that. You know what? I got to get Percy because I got to show Percy. Hey, Paula, can you bring Percy over here?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know if she heard me. She's, oh, here she comes. I see Paula. Paula does not like to be on camera. But, oh, yes, here he comes. Paula and Percy are coming. Paula will not be on camera. It's a guarantee. All right, if you hand me him here, you won't be on camera. Here's Percy. Here he is. Percy, say hi to Tom. Tom hates cats. He hates cats.
No.
He does. He hates cats. Tom hates cats.
No.
Scratch his eyes out.
See, that is exactly it. If I said I hated dogs, you'd be like, well, how could you hate such a dog? But with a cat, you're like, attack him. All right. Back to questions. Fred says, which developer, Mr. Buonocore, has raised your eyebrow as one that is up and coming and one to watch?
Well, I assume they mean designer, right? Normally that's what they mean, right? Designers. Oh,
well, I mean, developer's an interesting thing too. Designer, developer.
Yeah.
I should mention real quickly before you answer, just as a quick general thing. I don't do every question. I just do ones that interest me. But I promise you, if you ask your question more than 3 times, I will never answer it. Just as a small heads up.
Yeah, I have to think about that one. I can't think of somebody like an up and coming. Okay, Percy's gonna leave now. An up and coming designer. I just can't think of one. Sorry, guys. I mean, there's so many people who have games out there now, and so many designs out there, and so many designers out there. There are gonna be. We're gonna see a lot of new games by people who have not designed games. We're going to continue to see that happening, and some of them coming out of nowhere, like when all of a sudden become bigger too. So, which is kind of cool.
I'm so far behind in comments. I just got to Alan Moon where he says he hates people who curse publicly.
Yes, I saw that.
Me too. Me too. That's just the worst, I think.
The worst. And it's a low point in Alan's life.
Christian Adventure Gamer says, any hope for Descent 3rd Edition? I gotta say, I don't know what to expect from Fantasy Flight at all at this point. It's such a weird thing what's going on there. They definitely have leaned real hard into the Marvel aspect. They still got Keyforge going. We just got the new Fallout Shelter game from them, which is, we played it today, and spoiler alert, quite good. A lot of fun. But they haven't done a lot with Descent in a while. And I kept predicting a Descent 3rd edition, but with so many of the designers who worked on the original ones gone from the company, I don't know if they would redo it or not. Christopher says, what are your thoughts on house rules? If a rule book is unclear on a rule, do you make a house rule, or would you prefer to find more clarification online and play as intended?
I personally like to play as intended. I'm kind of a purist. I always think you should default to that. I have friends who love to create house rules, though. So I think that it's your game. You play the game the way you want to play it. Me personally, I try to play it as designed.
This can be really frustrating. Today, I pulled out an extremely hot game. I won't say which one it was. Hot new Kickstarter game. And tons of rule questions. I went online, and I have the game too early for there to be enough information online. And it just bugged me. It bugged all of us because we had these rules questions. But we can house rule it and say, I guess this is the way it goes. But that feels, to me, very unsatisfying. And I am a big fan of when designers go online and answer these questions. It makes life a lot easier. And that's one of the, to me, when people say, what's the best thing about Board Game Geek? Hands down, I think the thing I use it most for are rules questions.
Oh, yeah. It's best use is to keep up on rules. Absolutely.
Let's see here. Board Game Insider still has the opener. Tom Vassell said it would never make it to 10 episodes. Are you surprised they made over 100 episodes and still going strong? Well, actually, I was a little. I don't remember what I said this at the beginning. I'm not, though, because I have to give so much credit, and, my apologies so much to Ignacy Trzewiczek for just keeping this thing going. That man is a workhorse and a beast, and he has told me so many times privately that Mr. Buonocore has tried to quit almost every other episode, and he holds it together.
Yeah, it's all Ignacy. The entire thing's Ignacy. Absolutely. We actually love doing that show. I cannot tell you how much we really love doing that show, and it to me, I think of it as part of like the, us giving, it's great advertising for the companies, of course it is, but it's sort of us giving something a little bit back to the community to say like, well, look, we're just guys. This is how things run. This is the, your questions to us so we can explain things. We enjoy, unraveling the onion, showing you, how the sauce is made and how the industry works. So, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. It really means a lot to us. And we're about like the 4th biggest on your network now. I just want you to know that. Maybe 3rd.
I've been keeping track of the numbers, so no.
Yeah, we are.
We just added This Game is Broken to the Dice Tower Network, and they're bigger than you are, so there you go.
I don't think they are, but that's okay.
How would you even know? You don't know everyone's numbers. You're just making that up. Alrighty.
Matthew Jude is the guy who he does our he edits our podcast. So I'm gonna tell him that I'll ask him who's bigger, us or them.
That's true. He would actually know that. All right. Yep. So Luke wants to know: do you have the collector's edition of War of the Ring?
Yes, I just said that. I have the collector's edition of War of the Ring. It is my pride and joy in my collection. I got it at original price, $400. I think it's worth around $2,000 now, but I wouldn't sell it for anything. And it just
that's a fun game. Let's look it up on eBay. eBay.com. All right. War of the Ring. I don't even think you find
one if you do. Last time I saw one, there was one for about $2,000. But
let's see. I can get the anniversary edition, but that's not the same thing.
No. So I just got something made. I don't know if you guys saw this. Somebody posted on the Dice Tower forums on Facebook. They posted a dice tray that was in the shape of the One Ring. And here comes Paula. She's like Vanna Whiting over here for me, giving me Percy. Now she's giving me the dice. I didn't even call for this, but she knew exactly what I was going to do. And David Orse made this.
Oh, that's awesome.
He made this for me.
Is that 3D printed or
amazing.
Is it wood? What's the material? Is it 3D printed?
No, this is a 3D printed a shiny plastic substance. It's got the ring. It's the One Ring. Look, it's like me. Like I'm Frodo now. Like it's me. I'm Frodo. And it's about
That's really cool.
7 inches across. I don't have any dice in front of me. I can open up one of my million rolling rice. I can show you me rolling into them, right? But it's really amazing.
Wayne wants to know how many of those games are still in Shrink.
Quite a few, I will admit. All the Stronghold ones are probably out. This one actually is in Shrink. But a non-insignificant percentage, let's say that, and definitely a double-digit percentage are in Shrink. 20%, 25. I would have to go around. My whole Martin Wallace section is right there, like top to bottom, all Martin Wallace. Stronghold stuff is like right here. I had the indie boards and cards stuff over there. I got to bring it closer to Stronghold now that we are merged.
Nathan wants to know, what's your favorite cartoon?
Scooby-Doo.
Really?
I don't know. It's one of them. I love that. I mean, if you just like animated series, when I was fairly young, they did the X-Men animated series, which was fantastic.
You were not young when the X-Men animated series came out. That's 90s.
Not young like a kid young. I was high school, college, something like that. I mean, but it was like
senior citizen at that point.
Oh my God.
I was in college when the X-Men cartoon was out. We're not the same age.
When did it come out?
I'm looking it up, actually. Hang on.
X-Men animated.
I'm faster.
Series.
1992. Okay, I was. Yes.
92. So I wasn't that young.
My favorite cartoons would be, I really like the Justice League, the Batman Superman animated cartoons, and Adventure Time.
Oh, the Justice League. Justice League has to win hands down.
I like Marvel better than DC, but the Justice League cartoon, DC beats Marvel when it comes to cartoons. Even their animated movies that they do these days are really well done.
They've got so many really cool Batman. That Flash one is amazing. What is that called? Flashpoint Paradox or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah, they're really good.
Is so good. That is mind-blowingly good animated movie. So I agree. Look at that. Tom and I agree. DC animation has beaten Marvel animation over time. By the way, you're not noticing I'm wearing a different Stronghold shirt. This is like the, Stronghold by night, cool hanging out, giving you my Friday night hanging out, not the collared shirt. Just pointing that out. Johnny Quest. Am I saying Johnny Quest?
I see that we got to the part where games to erase from humanity and people are saying nothing personal. Someone also mentioned that you were using nothing personal to prop up your desk. Lots of people are speaking out against peanut butter beer and saying it's gross.
There is a very good it's like peanut butter and jelly flavored beer by Funky Buddha down here. It actually is amazing. Funky Buddha is a Boca Raton brewery.
This says, how do you think you've been waiting for your longest unfulfilled Kickstarter? Here's the thing.
Do you back a lot of?
I do. I have two accounts. So I have my Tom Vassal account, right, and then I have my secret account that I back some board games with.
It's Zelif Regnu is his other account. That's Felix Unger backwards. Long.
Now, so let me look here. On my actual account, let's see, the last one I backed here that I haven't got yet. I see. I just got Starcadia Quest. I think I'm going back a long time now. Let's see. Da, da, da. Here it is.
It shows me that I back nothing. It shows me that I back nothing personal. That's great. I'm looking at all the things I back.
Unsung Story. Unsung Story is a video game that was made what's the thing? Unsung Story was I think it's supposed to be like Final Fantasy Tactics. I'll tell you this, my luck with board games has been pretty good, but video games and technology is the worst. I think I'm done backing it.
Mine's from 2013 with an estimated delivery of April 2014, and I will not say what it is.
Is it a board game or something else?
Well, it's a board game. It's a board game. Yeah, it's a game.
Yeah, okay. I don't have that with a board game.
The designer is a friend, and he's in the industry, and I don't want to say anymore.
Well, that's fine. I'm just saying you're beating me because mine is 2015. So I don't think I'm ever going to get this game. It made 660,000. What do you do?
Wow.
It's a video game, though. Video games are notoriously bad on Kickstarter. They don't always get their things. For board games, like I said, I have some pretty good... Oh, I never got this stupid polygon spoon thing. I got that. It's trash. I got that. It's okay. I got that. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good with board games. So...
Can you tell me people are here in the here watching us and stuff like that?
Right now it's 248.
I'm sure that we beat all other chats that you've had in your positive chat series.
Sure.
Alan R. Moon is here.
Okay,
at
let's
a low
see here.
point in his life.
Let's see. Now people are talking about seafood and steak and chili, and they say Whispering Canyon at the Wilderness Lodge Walt Disney World is like Dick's Last Resort, but more family friendly. I've never been there, but that sounds good.
Anything is more family friendly than Dick's Last Resort. Anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Isn't a restaurant on the planet?
Richard says In-N-Out Burgers is his favorite chain. I got to say, folks, I have never been more disappointed, I think, by a chain restaurant than I was by In-N-Out. It's literally just an okay burger joint. I don't know what people are raving about. What hot foods would you like cold, and what cold foods would you like hot? Huh?
What hot foods do I want cold?
I
like cold pizza.
Yeah, I'd rather have hot pizza. I like hot foods hot.
No, that's would you rather have? Like, I'd rather have it hot, but many times I put it in the refrigerator, my pizza, and I'll eat it the next morning for breakfast or cold for lunch.
Here's the thing. I used to hate eating pizza, reheat it in the microwave, just not as good. But when I learned the hack of frying it, you put the tiniest bit of butter in a frying pan.
What?
You throw the piece
wait. You're frying pizza?
No, listen.
You're going to be telling me how to...
No, listen. No, whatever.
Oh, I'm scared.
You take the piece of pizza. This is leftover pizza. You put it in a little bit of a frying pan with a little bit of butter. You put it in there for like 30 seconds. You flip it real quick and flip it back, and it tastes amazing.
This is an abomination against God.
Oh, whatever. You haven't even tried it, so you don't even know.
But you're taking a piece of pizza and you're frying it in butter?
You published 504. All right. Let's see here.
It's an amazing experimental game. Paula, I need a drink after that. She's going to show up with a drink.
I have to say, folks, I'm pretty excited. I can't believe
she said, no, I'm not.
In the last few weeks, how many of Kickstarter games are showing up now, though? There's a lot of cool looking games coming in. So I'm kind of pumped about playing some of these games and seeing them. Let's see. What's the largest live audience we've ever had? Well, it's probably our Gen Con audience. 1,200 gamers.
Oh, the live audience. Yeah, that's the biggest show you do every year. Who sponsors that show? That would be Stronghold
Indie
Games.
Game Alliance.
Sponsors that show. Indie Game Studios, Stronghold Games. We sponsor it every year.
Yeah, we have it. I have not heard back from them. Well, I mean, they said we could do the show and everything, and I sent it in and everything. I haven't heard back, but I'm sure that the show will be at the same time this year. Now, if you're talking about what's our largest live audience, yeah, Friday at 2, I think, is when I signed up for it. Our largest streaming audience, if that's what you're asking, was when we said goodbye to Sam, the top 10 games of all time. I think we hit 3,000 there.
Aw, very nice.
Lots of people are saying nice things about Orange Cats.
Yes. You're like way, way, way back there.
I am.
Somebody asked how many drinks has Buonocore had already? Somebody. I'm way, way down in the chat. I had 1 Guinness Stout. That's it. You saw me drinking it. It's all done. All done.
Okay, here's a question. How does Stronghold handle the writing of rules for your games? Like, how does that process work?
It really depends on how bad the rulebook comes from the designer. But we will get the design, get the game, play the game, make sure that the rules make sense in the game. We'll do some editing. In the past, we have then passed it to people in the company to continue editing, and then we actually had an actual professional editor do that work to get it to like a proper grammatical stance. Right now, all of that has been pushed back into inside the house because we have enough people now in-house to do that. So it's an iterative process with people that are in the house. We really hope that you don't have to rip a rule book apart because it becomes very painful. Then you're missing things that the designer really wanted in there and things like that. I keep designers in all aspects of all games as involved as they possibly want. Some really want to be involved, and some really don't want to be involved. But the short answer is it's iterative internal process within the company.
This question is, I wonder if anyone has ever tried to combine 2 games together. We're currently trying to figure out how to combine Pathfinder Adventure card game and Legends of Drizzt.
Why would one do that?
Yeah, we used to joke about this. We said we would play a game of Axis and Allies, and then every time someone would fight each other, we'd stop and play a game of Memoir. You know, the battle. But that's a joke. I don't know that I want to combine games. Like, what's the point of it? I don't know. It's just play 2 games back to back. It's almost the same thing.
Yeah. Don't combine.
Says, never ever back video games, Tom. Video game developers don't know how to use funds properly. Maybe. But see, let's spin this positive. I'll say this. Yes, there have been some bad actors on Kickstarter board game-wise, and yes, there are some delayed projects. But for the most part, my Kickstarter experience, has been positive. Now, yes, there's been a lot of dud games. I don't think they're all great games. But most of them come out eventually, and my philosophy of backing the game and then essentially forgetting about it works really great because a box will show up, like a box showed up today, and I was like, what's this? Woo, that's right, I backed this. That's cool. You back it, and then you forget about it, and when it comes in, it makes you happy.
That's right. And Crystal Pisano really wants to make sure you plug 2 p.m. tomorrow Pacific time. They're streaming Mall Madness. Watch that. Mall
Madness being streamed tomorrow. Yep. There's 2 streams tomorrow. That one, and then there's one at 9 o'clock. And I think tomorrow's streaming is Mike DeLisio will be heading that one up. The Hot Sauce Kickstarter.
I think that we'll have even more people for Crystal's Mall Madness tomorrow.
I hope
2
so.
p.m. Pacific.
I backed the hot sauce.
Hunt for the ring, and War of the Ring can be combined because they're specifically made to combine. Kabuki Kid just said that, I think, so that's perfect.
Yeah, but that's different. The company automatically did that,
Yes.
and even then, I would argue that most of the time that doesn't work very well at all.
I have not done it, though I have Hunt for the Ring here somewhere too. I absolutely have that, and it's still in.
Whataburger is better than In-N-Out for sure. I'm very sad there's no Whataburgers down here in Miami area.
Five Guys burger.
Oh, for sure, Five Guys is better than them, but I would rather go to Fuddruckers actually over Five Guys.
Yeah, we used to have a Fuddruckers in New Jersey that they all closed down. Are they still around? Fuddruckers? Fuddruckers had the best.
Yeah, there's one down here in Miami for sure.
They had the best exotic meats. Do they still have them? They had.
I still get bison every time I go. I like that. I like a buffalo burger a lot.
They had a bison. They had an ostrich. I love the ostrich there.
Yeah, ostrich is really good.
In Dallas at the last, was that BGG Spring? Is it BGG Spring last year? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I went to some burger place. They had camel. They had all these wild exotic meats, and the burgers were really amazing. And they made them in really wild ways too, with different sauces, like a peanut butter this and that was one of the best burger places. It's not a chain though; it was just a place there, and I can't remember the name of it.
Is Buonocore's collection bigger than the Dice Tower library?
No, not even close. Not even close. How many games do you have in that library?
I'm undergoing counting them right now. Around 1,600.
But you're much higher.
It doesn't matter
might
though.
Be higher than.
There's games.
No, it doesn't but yours is curated. And are the best games in the different classifications and the hottest games. And no, the Dice Tower library for a given library, God, I hate complimenting you, is the best library I've ever seen. Best library out there.
And because of that, the mean comment I was about to make, I will not say.
It's the best library.
All right. What did you used to do before publishing?
Well, that's easy, right? I mean, I've talked about that on various things. I was in
but
IT
this audience is not the same audience as the rest.
Yes. I was in IT for like 35 years, including part-time while I was doing that and Stronghold at the same time, up until like early 2016 when I completely split and I couldn't do both anymore. And I was in project management for a Wall Street company in IT, and it was great while that was being done. It certainly pays bills, but it is mind-numbing on so many levels, and this is rewarding on so many levels, and that's the difference.
Have either of you cried at a movie?
I cry a lot. I am a real man. I can admit to that.
Pixar definitely gets me all there. The opening sequence for Up. The ending of Inside Out. The ending of a lot of Pixar movies. They're like, what's that really? There's a lot of sad movies, especially about, World War II and things like that.
It was a mess for Saving Private Ryan, that's for sure.
Yeah, but
if you want to see me bawl like a child, you watch me at Les Miserables.
Really? That one doesn't get me as much.
Oh
I think it's the song.
The play, but the play is it kills me. I'm ruined from the overture. Ruined. I start crying immediately. It's so powerful that play.
Let's see here. Would you rather Kickstarter create a Backerkit style system or continue to use the third-party systems you currently use? That's an interesting question. I'm still a little mind-boggled why Kickstarter doesn't have basically Backerkit built into it. So there's Backerkit, CrowdOx, what's the other ones? There's several. Come On has their own. There's a lot of different ones. Awakened Realms has one. GameFound. There's a lot of these, and they're all very good, right? They're all nice and useful. They're fantastic.
Yep.
And they definitely help backers out a lot, and the creators. A good chunk of money from projects comes from these. Why Kickstarter doesn't do it, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Kickstarter because I don't feel like they put a ton of work into their website. Their search engine's horrible. Their response time to people who run Kickstarters is not always the best. They haphazardly enforce things on the website. They're still trying to maintain this whole "we're not a store" aspect when they clearly are for many, many projects. Not all projects, but many of them. And if you look at the website, not much ever changes. It's kind of like on autopilot. So I'm just not a huge fan of it. But why don't they make one?
Right now.
Huh? Yeah, but the unionization is a completely different aspect. That's something else.
That was the latest big news on Kickstarter stuff. Absolutely. I don't understand why what is a technology company would not create more technology that would then compete with Backerkit and Crowdox, because those people are charging money to publishers. Why not they add the functionality, maybe charge a little bit less than the other guys, and then they, I don't know.
Have either of you come close to flipping a table during a board game meetup?
You said I haven't. No, I have never done that.
I don't think, excluding childish behavior as a kid, I don't think I've ever even wanted to. I might have gotten annoyed at somebody, but I wasn't going to flip the table over it. All right, Jeff says, what chore do you absolutely hate doing?
Cleaning Percy's litter box is not exactly fun. No, don't like that.
For me, it's laundry.
But it's my baby. So
I really hate laundry.
Laundry doesn't bother me.
Well, there's just different things, right? Like, I don't mind washing dishes, although I haven't washed dishes in quite a while because I now have a cadre of children who are scheduled per night to wash dishes. It's fantastic.
I like that. I don't mind washing dishes at all. In fact, that's usually what I do. I do some cooking too now.
Alrighty, well, we're getting kind of to the end here, so we need to pick a winner. So I'm just going to unless you have someone that you want to pick for a winner, I'm going to just scroll and randomly pick one.
Well, I assume you just... I see you looking.
Well, no, okay. I want to make sure I was scrolling the right thing. Just tell me when to stop.
I don't see you scrolling, so I don't see you doing anything.
So then just say stop.
Stop.
All right, this is RGAL. That's like Regal, maybe?
RGAL. Regal.
R space
I know
G-A-L.
him. Her? I don't know them.
Well,
you're the winner.
Yeah, well, the comment is looking good, Steven. That's not...
Yeah.
It actually was positive. It actually was positive for
Buonocore,
Mr. Buonocore. Come on. Let's do it again. No.
All
right.
Regal wins, and Regal's going to get a copy of
All right,
Nova
so you
Luna.
need to email me at tom@dicetower.com, and I will forward that on to Mr. Buonocore, and we'll get it out to you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, our Regal. Nova Luna for you. April 22nd for the rest of the world. It was big played at Dice Tower West. You want that.
It really was.
It really was, and Tom wouldn't say so if it wasn't so.
Oh, no, I'm glad, and Z Garcia really likes it. That one I have not played yet, so I don't know anyone else.
Ripple Rush is a 10-minute flipping right. 10 minutes, start to finish. Suzanne played it, loved it, and she's a big fan of rolling, right? So, same genre. So, check that one out. This one is April 8th. Also not released, April 8th. I can keep pulling stuff out here and keep talking if you like, but you probably don't want me to.
Tom, is your tongue bleeding?
No.
I don't think so.
It looks pretty good. Well,
if Jason donated every duplicate game he had, would that collection be bigger than the Dice Tower library? Is Rock the Burger still around the Kendall area of Miami? Yes. Camel Burgers. Buonocore is cut off.
Yes, I had I'm pretty sure I had the Camel Burger too because it was so wild. I had to have it.
We need a better way to select winners? Well, Is that because you didn't win? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see here. All right, Crystal's going to start a marble racing stream on her channel. So if you want to go watch marbles race and pick a marble to race, you can go do that. We'll be back. We might even have Mr. Buonocore back because I feel like we may be doing these nightly chats for a bit. We have them scheduled all the way through till next Monday. Not this Monday, but the Monday after that. So we'll keep them going as long as we're all together in our house like this. We'll keep these chats going.
That means I have to shave again. You know, I'm shaving like once a week, once every maybe twice a week max now. I had to shave before I came on the show because I would not come on not shaven. I'm a very good-looking man, Tom. You know that.
Yes, he is. So, alrighty, thanks and congratulations to the winners, and thanks everybody for popping on here. Come back tomorrow at 2 o'clock for Crystal's stream of Mall Madness. That game used to go for so much on eBay, so she's doing that. And then show up tomorrow night for another one of these chats. And we got other videos going up over the weekend, reviews and things like that. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Stephen Buonocore, and Nova Luna's here.
What?
Bye.